Alright, today I'm going to do a bit of a rundown on my SCX10 8x8. I'm going to cover over what's underneath it, how the links are set up, the motor, the electrics, the plans here and there that I've got, what I've done, etc. and so on. So let's get stuck into it. I think we will start with underneath the front. Okay, so we are under the front. What have I done? Firstly, I have extended the chassis rails on the normal SCX10 rail. I've just used some aluminum there, rails. 140 millimeters longer it is now in the front, plus the length of the cab extender rails. The whole truck itself now is 845 millimeters long front to back. The wheelbase is 600, I believe. Right, so as you can see, there's a few hop-up pieces here and there. That's been the last thing I've been worried about. Once the truck's built, functioning properly, then I might have a look at putting some nicer fancy pieces on it. I already did have some nice links, etc. and so on before I started. But at some stage I would like to find more links like these. I'll put another metal shaft in, same as these. I've put lockouts on it already. Just a few bits and pieces. I don't want to go crazy with it. I take it easy on my truck and I drive it like an old man, basically. I don't want to break it. And look, it's been brilliant. It's been good to me. So I'll keep driving it like that. Right, so continuing with the front, I have chassis mounted servo here, chassis mounted servo here. I've made my own panhard bar out of threaded rod, axial rod ends, and I used heat shrink to cover up the threaded rod, just to sort of make it tidy. I will have to make another one for this axle, but now that I've made the first, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm waiting on a 20 kilo servo to turn up. Once that gets here, I can suss out exactly which way the steering arms are going to go, and yes, this one will be replaced because these ones that were on the original honchos are bloody terrible. Anyway, that'll be replaced. I might possibly even make my own out of the threaded rod. It'll never ever break in a million years. So I may make one for that, and if it works out well, I might do a replacement for this one. So yes, that will be changed. I've got servo turning up for up there. It's a bit hard to see where everything is. The servo's hiding up in there. I'm thinking I'll put a 15 kilo one up there, a 20 kilo one in the front, because the cab is metal, it's heavy. I keep adding weight to this truck. I've done a full interior, etc. It's a bit hard to see with the windows that are in it, so I'm going to make some new ones, make it all pretty so you can actually see inside the cab. But this gives you a bit of a rundown. You've got some beefed up shocks in the front to sort of handle the weight. A few nice bits and pieces just to make it a bit more user friendly. A quick hit on the links. Yes, these are standard links. They're pretty much used for mock-up purposes. I'm going to get more links like these, put in the front. Everything will be nice and strong. And it should be pretty right to roll, I think. Right, next we will move on to a quick hit of the rear links, etc. and so on, because I do get a lot of people asking how I've got mine set up for their own 6x6 builds and 8x8 builds. So we'll go to that next, and that'll give you a good idea of how it's set up. Okay, looking at the back end of the truck now, you will notice they are metal links, but they're a bit crappy looking. A lot of this truck is dirty, and that's because as a 6x6 I used it frequently. It's not a shelf queen, it never will be. So let's get past that and get to what people ask me about generally. How my links set up. So as you can see, the top links run through to the chassis. The lower links run through to the 4-link bar on top of the diff. You'll see a lot of people run the link from here to here. I've not been a fan of that. This actually works really well as far as your articulation goes and how smoothly it works. This is just how I've got it done. You do have to watch, if you're running a standard 3-link part here and it's got slop in it, your diff will overclock. I don't have that issue anymore. I've gone through and fixed it all up, etc. and so on. It's really good now. which is nice because when that was overclocking, it was horrible. So that gives you a quick rundown of the link. You know how the links are set up. They're just standard axial shocks, some cheap lockouts, cheap chassis extension too. That's literally plastic rails on the back, but there's not a whole lot going on in the back. My tow bar that I made, and essentially just to hold the battery and mount the tray. So that's the back. Next, we'll have a sticky peek at what I've been building. Alright, so what I've been building. Basically, this middle piece you're looking at. Everything to do with this is what I've been building lately. Essentially, I needed to fill the gap between the cab and the tray from when it was a 6x6. So I've gone with a storage compartment up here, a few little details, etc., just to try and, it just makes it a bit nicer to look at. Somewhere to put my rock claw, which is handy because not a lot of vehicles have places where you can actually put them. I'm not finished yet with my crane. I still want to run some hydraulic cables, etc., little things like that, just to make it a bit more realistic. But for what it is, I'm pretty happy. It's come up pretty well. A little chain holder there. They're actually off Axial Part Tree. Someone will know what they're actually called, or the part number. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I assume they are little wire holders. So that's what I use to hold my chain. And look, it looks good. It's a nice scale effect, I think. I've just taken the hook from the other end of this chain to put as my crane hook. Just a little detail to try and make it look a bit nicer. All this stuff here is made from 1mm HIPS, which is high impact polystyrene sheets. It's easy to work with. It's excellent for beginners. If you want to get into building stuff for yourself, I suggest you get yourself some of that stuff. Feel free to ask me what's... actually, wait, I will grab... This is the glue that I use. Essentially, once you've got your pieces cut, you can put some of this down. It can be quite runny, so watch how you use it. Put some of this down, hold it for about 10 seconds, and it'll hold itself there pretty well. It sets 80% strength in 24 hours, and it sets really strong. So that's the glue I use, and you can make stuff like this. It's brilliant. So all of that storage compartment, the hive, etc., is done with 1mm sheet. The tray, this was the first thing I really built with that stuff. I'm considering the idea of making another tray now that I'm a little bit better at doing this kind of thing. This was made out of 1.5mm sheet. I think if I was to do it again, I'd do 1mm, redo the floor. Let's just balsa wood. I think it's about 3mm thick. Score it with a screwdriver, then paint it to get your wood lines. So that's what I've been building. So far, I'm pretty happy with how it's come up. I cannot wait to get a few bits and pieces that I need to get it driving. I'm waiting on CVDs for this axle, my steering servo, then it's pretty much just down to me finishing it off. I will have to suss out my RX and TX as my receiver that was in it has died. So the list never ends. We all know what that's like. But this is my SCX10 8x8. It doesn't get any lighter. Doesn't seem to matter what you do, it's heavy. So that's her. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching.